Welcome back to News Geelong on this Friday evening. The Geelong Heritage Centre has moved into its temporary facility at the National Wool Museum, while the new $45 million Geelong Library and Heritage Centre is being built.
We're at the new home of the Geelong Heritage Centre. It'll be located in the National Museum, right up here on the top floor, in fact, for a couple of years. But it's going to get well established in that period of time. There's 1.8 kilometres of information stored up here, if you'd like to put it end to end. But it's a very concise building. It's the old theaterette at the Wool Museum. And we're talking with Mark Beasley about this new home for the Heritage Centre. How's the move been?
Well, it's been really good. Logistically, a lot of work, obviously, because we had to move our collection to a number of places and then move our reading room over here to the National Wool Museum. So staff and volunteers here have been terrific in making that happen, and we've settled in nicely into our new home here, which is fantastic.
Now, we must point out this is temporary, but you'll have plenty of time to get established, won't you?
Yeah, look, we will. We'll be here for a couple of years while our new Geelong Library and Heritage Centre is under construction. So we'll, although it's a temporary home, we'll be here for a while, and look, what a fantastic place to be in part of Geelong's real history, being in the National Wool Museum.
Yeah, it's a nice fit, isn't it? And you feel as if you really are at home here.
Yeah, look, we do. We're excited because we'll probably bring a new visitors into our Heritage Centre, so people who are visiting the National Wool Museum can call in and maybe find out a little bit more about the history and the heritage of the people of Geelong, as well as our normal clients can come in free of charge as they always have, which is terrific.
It was a bit of a worry when the shift was on, and it's really important that it's in the right place, and you couldn't get more central to Geelong. 10 till 5 every day, Monday to Friday, so great hours as well.
Well, we know that there are more exciting plans ahead as far as our new library and heritage centre, and we don't want to overlook the fact that this is probably at least a 2-year plan here.
Yeah, but it's a fantastic location, and people get to see the museum as they're walking up. And I think a lot of people need to revisit the museum too, so there's a lot to see there that changes all the time. So they get to experience that, and then they also the experience of just being in such a classic old building is awesome. We just have so much to tell in Geelong, and we've got so much still that we have got, and I just encourage people to come up here and check it out. It's not only just for family history, but it's also checking out Geelong's history as well, and Victoria and Australia, and even parts of the world. So it is a fantastic place, and if kids are on holidays, it's good to experience in here as well.
At the new home of the Geelong Heritage Centre, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
The old Red Cross building in Bean Street, Geelong, has now been totally refurbished to house the Geelong Hospital new outpatients annex, as Ian Nichols reports.
We're inside the brand new outpatients annex here in Ballerine Street, Geelong, a wonderful addition to the Geelong Hospital complex, a red letter day for the City of Greater Geelong, and the building has been officially opened by the State Health Minister, David Davis.
It's a great day for the city and a great day for the region. This new purpose-built facility, $9.7 million to treat outpatients. The specialist clinics here providing very high quality treatment, but an integral part of the activities of Barwon Health.
Well, there's quite an extension to a number of services. I know there's a lot going to be happening here, but it's going to open up more beds, more opportunities for better health care.
It will, and there's an enormous amount of activity happening in Geelong, around $200 million worth of construction activity around redevelopment of the hospital here, right across the region. These are all important steps in building our capacity in Barwon region and Geelong in particular.
Well, we've already heard the CEO pay tribute to the construction company Kane, who've come in on budget, on time, so obviously that makes you happy as well.
Of course, in financially tough times, we're happy to see hospitals with their construction work come in on time and budget. An important thing to remember as well is the enormous amount of construction activity in the health sector is an important driver of jobs and economic outcomes. 10,000 jobs statewide due to the activity in the health sector, massive new developments, whether it's the Comprehensive Cancer Centre in Parkville or the Iron Ear Hospital near the city. All of these are statewide providers providing will provide better services for the community, but they're creating jobs on the way through.
Well, we'll try and get a word with the CEO, but I understand something like 150,000 outpatients pass through every year here, so it is a very busy hospital.
It's a very busy hospital, Victoria's biggest regional hospital, and providing very high quality services. I pay tribute to the staff in particular, but the administration of the hospital as well.
You can see that the brand new building here was delivered on time and on budget. Will service approximately 150,000 outpatients a year. So much needed additional infrastructure here for the Geelong Hospital.
And of course it's created quite a lot of jobs, and that's not to be sneezed at either.
Yeah, the health sector is providing a lot of jobs in construction here at Geelong Hospital, for example, not only here in the annex, but there's also the $93 million being spent on additional 64 beds in the hospital proper, and also we'll be starting on the new Warm Ponds Community Hospital, which is another $50 million in this year's budget to commence that, so more construction jobs there as well.
At the official opening of the new $10 million outpatients annex here in Geelong, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
The Regional Growth Fund has been hard at work over the past few years, with the local member for South Barwon, Mr Andrew Katos, announcing the 1,000th major works project in Geelong.
Well, it's a bright and sunny winter's morning here in Geelong, and we're happy to say that the state government has put $1 billion into a rural and regional fund, which is going extremely well. The 1,000th project announced this month, and we're talking about the success of this innovation with the member for South Barwon, Andrew Katos. Andrew, we know that a pre-election commitment was to commit $1 billion to regional and country Victoria to grow the region, and I believe we've got a special celebration this week. The 1,000th project is being celebrated.
Yes, the 1,000th project has been funded by the Regional Growth Fund. We'll make a very big cake with 1,000 candles on it, so we won't go into that for now, otherwise we wouldn't have room for the camera shot. But look, in the Geelong region, that's seen over $28 million in state government investment, which has funded 27 separate projects. So that is, and that money has leveraged over $340 million in private investment.
Well, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is the new Geelong Library and Heritage Centre. There's been a very large contribution to that.
Yeah, there's $15 million to the Geelong Library and Heritage Centre out of a $45 million build. So that will provide not only the construction jobs, but a much needed new library for Geelong. There's also been investment out at Epworth at Geelong, at Warm Ponds. There's $2.85 million for that project, which is I believe roughly $280 million project out there at Warm Ponds. Also down in Torquay, the stage 2 of the civic precinct, and you can see, if you go down to Torquay there at the council offices, you can see the new road being constructed. That is part of the works there on that. So we're seeing more money being spent in the regions, and the important thing is providing that community infrastructure, but also leveraging local government, federal government, and also private investment into these projects.
Well, it's not over yet. There's a lot more to come, and that's the exciting news as well for employment and growth in Victoria.
Yes, there is more to come, so we'll certainly be looking to funding even more projects through the Regional Growth Fund and sharing that prosperity right around rural and regional Victoria.
In the heart of the city of Geelong, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
And now the weather outlook for Geelong and the Surf Coast over the next 6 days. Tomorrow, Saturday, will be cloudy with a 55% chance of rain and an expected top of 15 degrees. Sunday will continue to be cloudy with patchy rain, easing to the chance of showers during the evening with a top of 15. Monday will be partly cloudy, the chance of showers and a top of 17, while Tuesday will see a partly cloudy day with a 35% chance of showers and an expected top of 18. Wednesday will be partly cloudy with isolated showers later in the day and a top of 19, while Thursday will continue to be partly cloudy with some sunny periods and a top of 14. Today we saw a partly cloudy day with light winds and a top of 16 degrees reached at 1 o'clock this afternoon. That's the weather for Geelong and the Surf Coast expected over the next 6 days. This is News Geelong as we go to a break and return with Alex Tigani and the outlook of Geelong and regional sport.